Hi there, Kirsten here with Julep Tile Company. I wanted to talk with you today about trim. Trim is one of the easiest things to forget as you're planning your installation. I know everyone is focused on calculating square footage and what kind of design do I want for the backsplash, and the thing I most often see forgotten is trim. So let's talk quickly about where you might need trim and what kind of trim you would need. So first of all, what am I talking about? What is trim? So to do that, let's go over to the website and we'll just take a look here. So we have a collection of different kinds of trim for different purposes. But basically, as you can see here, it's basically just a long, skinny piece of ceramic material. And you use them for different purposes that we'll talk about. All of our trim come in 6-inch long pieces, and all of them are available in any color. So the nice thing about that is you can get a really custom look and order the trim to match the backsplash or to match, like if you have an insert over the stove. There's a lot of creativity there to be had. So this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about trim. So let's go back here. There are a couple of different places in general where you might need trim. So in between two different tiles to kind of separate two areas of tile, or for edging. So I think the best way is just to show you a few installations so you can really picture what I'm talking about. So let's talk about the first one, which is in between tiles. So this is a good example of where you might need trim. You can see here we've used a channel liner to kind of outline where this insert is and separate it from the subway tile over here. So you don't have to use trim here. It's kind of a personal preference. If you want, we've got everything from like a really kind of wide scallop chair rail you could use here, all the way down to something as simple as like a little bitty pencil liner if you want something really subtle. Let's see here. So here's another good example. This is our border tile. This is our Cobham pattern as a border. So again, you don't have to use trim here, but it adds a nice bit of separation and kind of draws attention to the border. And this is our scallop chair rail that you see above and below the border, and then subway tile below, and I think that's in our light brown watercolor. Oh, I didn't tell you what this is. This is our bloom pattern in deep blue crackle, and then our channel liner and a subway tile. Okay, so another area you might use trim between tiles is kind of unique to our company. This is our pearl liner, and here it's used really just as decoration. A lot of people have really been excited about this in particular and have used the pearl liners in between each row like you see here, or every second or third row, just to kind of add something a little bit different to your subway tile. And then here is another way to use the pearl liner. This is here it's shown with our 4x4 in Chameleon. And I keep forgetting to tell you what these are. This subway tile is in New Satin White, and then our pearl liner in Glossy White. And then again, this is the 4x4 in Chameleon, and the pearl liner is in Glossy White. So the second big area you might need trim is to act as edging. And this really is the one that's easy to forget because you really don't think about it too much until your tile installer is like, what do you want to do on this edge here? So this here is a good example of where you might need edging trim. It's somewhere where your backsplash ends, but then your drywall continues, right? So some edges, like this corner, is not an issue. This backsplash here kind of dies into the cabinet or the refrigerator, so you wouldn't need trim there. Really, it's these areas, they're usually 18 inches long. Those are the ones that are easy to forget. And I'll show you what kind of trim specifically I would recommend. There's a couple other areas where this is common, though before I show you that, like somewhere like this is high enough, you may not need trim here, but just as an example, little spots like that where your backsplash ends. And then it's also common around windows. This would be more kind of at eye height, so you might really want something in an area like this, but windows are a common space unless you're taking your backsplash all the way up and around. That's a spot where you might find yourself needing just something to finish the edge. And what I would recommend is our Lewis quarter round. So you can see it's just a very dainty little quarter round. You can order it the same color as whatever your backsplash tile is, and it pretty much disappears. It just looks very finished and thoughtful. So that's kind of a roundup of where you might need trim. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. We're always happy to help. And yeah, thanks for watching.